Alright everybody, welcome in. This is going to be another Stormgate cast and I'm Algorithmor. And playing the blue Infernal in this match is going to be Snockstar. And his opponent in this match, this is going to be Dopamine. And these two are, at least at the moment, I believe, on the ladder, the two best representatives of their factions. So Snoxtar is the highest ranked in the Infernal faction, and Dopamine has for some time been known to be a very strong vanguard, and has opened here with command post first, and we see that new charge effect already taking are making an impact here. As soon as the command post is built, you can pump out 3 workers, I believe, 3 servos, these new servo units, which of course are an upgrade in the new patch. And by the new patch I mean 0.4, but this game is on 0.4.1, which is the new patch. So this is the new, and this is has corrected some of the eco problems with Celestials, but maybe overcorrected them, and has created new problems, which I'm sure we're going to see in action here any moment now. As Snoxtar has opened with an expansion here into 2 production buildings, and he has his Hellforge right behind it, and that's part of what I want to talk about in this game, which is the new brute upgrades, and the fact that the new brute is a little bit overtuned. We do have a farm over here waiting for maybe another expansion. Remember, the Shroud is going to help you build your expansion faster now, so players have been experimenting with different ways to get that Shroud down at your expo, and a farm is, at least for the moment, considered to be the most cost-effective way. And I believe they reduced the cost of our shrine in the last patch. I think. I remember seeing that from 350 to 300, which just makes it even, that basically is the cost of your farm. And I wonder if that's the reason. I'm not sure. But it's part of the eco changes to make it so that Infernal can ramp up a little faster. And again, maybe that was too much. I don't know. We're still a day into the patch, or only a day, I should say. And so, the meta hasn't settled yet. Certainly the brutes have been found to be strong and probably are too strong. But there's always the possibility. We saw those 2 fiends die and the servo staying alive at 3 hit points. But there's always the possibility that the meta might find some solution and it'll settle in a different way. Although with the current stats and the current, impression I'm getting is that changes probably need to be made. It's a lot of gaunts from Snoxtar actually in this game, as I'm here talking about how overpowered the brutes are. The brutes are coming out, and this is brute upgrades almost done. So Lancers are here from Dopamine as those brutes, and brutes can pop right out here, as we see they do, and then the charge is already on them. And this is what we're looking for here. The charge ability makes them faster, also gets a stun, and increases their attack speed, I believe, if they're on Shroud. We have the Lancers going up to take the health camp, and in the old days, that would be a great way to hide from the brutes. But brutes can move through the trees now and chase those Lancers out and say, "Get out of here! Get out of here!" Gaunts, I do like that there are gaunts. I know some folks might be saying all you need is brutes right now because they're so strong. But the gaunts add the curse ability. This is interesting. A strike squad has gone down here for Dopamine while he's still running those other Lancers home. And they're going to have to full on defend because this force from Snockstar is going to be right up in the base now. And indeed it is. We're going to see how this works out. He does choose to back off, while these units are a little strike force, trying to go for reinforcements, trying to take out some effigies here. And Snockstar's on his way home to deal with this. So this strike force idea was probably a pretty good idea from Dopamine, as he was able to distract Snockstar and make him come home. Although now these units are in a precarious position. We see some stuns go down and some charges go down. And now these units are trying to get home so that they can get back to this defensive force here. They do get the creeps involved, which helps, and then turns, I guess, into a creeping mission as Snoxtar goes home. So Dopamine, yeah, taking out the rest of the creeps here and getting that bonus after doing that. And Snoxtar deciding, let's just go back, get on the speed camp, get that speed boost again. And, oh, he's going for that Fiend Explosion. He did the Infernal Fury. That's the charge upgrade that I've already been talking about. It gives a plus 25% movement speed and that charge ability, the stun. And next we're going to get Fiend Explosion, which takes them from 2 Fiends to 4 Fiends. And, oh, are there... What are those imps doing? Are those going to be flame on imps? Or nope, they're just confused. Whoa, there's 5 of them there, I guess. Not sure what they were for. They're not sure what they're for, but they are taking a break. Ooh, here we got the dragon up above, finding some exos. Immediately getting some of those phantoms. And pushing forward here. Dragon going right for the base. Using the poison breath and then the inhale poison to do a lot of initial damage there. And these servos turning into phantoms here. Lots of phantoms. But Lancers showing up in the back. And they might be able to do something here as they got on top of the Gaunts. And the Gaunts, of course, are a little bit squishy. Brute reinforcements showing up with their charge ability, turning into Fiends. Do we have the Fiend Explosion finish? Yes, the Fiend Explosion is finished. And these units are now having to retreat into the back here. This is sort of an interesting position. I wonder what that means. I think Snoxtar was waiting for his Poison Breath to come again. Then he does finally go Shroud Fall. While Gaunts are showing up in the back, Brute's still doing a good job on the front line, just tearing through the Exos, and that is going to be the end of this game. Well then, let's get back into another game between these two. Then this one's also going to be on Isle of Dread, but this is a different game because they have switched colors. This is going to be Snockstar in the red. And our friend Dopamine in the blue. Check out the little servos. Ooh, he missed them! Oh. Hadn't seen that before. I would not expect that from Dopamine, who is one of the best vanguards, as I already mentioned. Oh wait, he did get them. I just didn't see it. So it looks like they have their overcharge. Yeah, they got it. That was me. Me not being able to see it. Maybe it's because I'm not as familiar with what it looks like on the new units. Maybe it's a little understated. Who knows? Well, in any case, he did get his command post up, and as we saw there, a couple new units pop out. And then he's going to grab some of them, and I'm guessing, let me zoom out here, this is going to be a Rax. And what do we got from Snoxtar then? Same build over here, with a Vault and a Conclave on the way after going for the Expo here. And what do we see from Dopamine? Rally! Rallied right here, okay. It's a pup. Okay, that maybe makes sense. I'm like, is he going for some Lancer push? No, that's just a scout. Scouts are for scouting. And we got the first units here out for Snockstar, and with this creeping position, he gets his Gaunts on the Shroud, which means they are going to be able to get some Curse, and therefore Phantoms. He does end up with 5 Phantoms there. The Scout comes and eats the cabbage, but will the Scout be able to get away? Or is he just going to go down to these phantoms? Nice little deke there to get ahead of the phantoms, and it looks like he's going to escape. Snoxtar maybe he's going to let him escape while trying to take out the health camp. And we do have a Lancer, it looks like, on the way for Dopamine out of that racks as well. And a second Lancer now. Maybe two Lancers, I should say, popped out. He's got two racks going. That's one thing that's a little hard to tell on the production tab, is if you queue up units, it will show up there. Of course, another thing that's hard to tell is you can never really see what the Infernal are building, because with their charge structure, it only stays up there for 1 second. Less than 1 second. So if you want to know what kind of units the Infernal has, you really kind of have to go look. And looks like we're going up to Greater, and we're going to be finished the Greater right now. Old days, that might mean we pop out a mag or two. Now I think it means, ooh, we go immediately for Twilight Spire to get that Fiend Explosion. But Snoxtar is not even waiting for tier 3. He just says, fine, I'm in. I'm in your base. What you gonna do? They dodge the Knife Infestation, and the Lancers show up, take out the Effigy. That's gonna help, because there's gonna be no regen then. Or maybe less regen, given that they do, Snoxtar does have the health camp. The Brute here, trying to work on the Buzzsaw Cannon, while the Gaunts are going for the servos, and again they take out the Effigy to try and avoid the curse, but there's already a bunch of Fiends out, and actually the Fiends get chewed up pretty easily by those Lancers, and since there's only Gaunts left, they're trying to hide in the back and reduce their surface area, but the Lancers do get on them, and look how many low Lancers that, oh, they're all dying. Wow, I was like, I was going to praise them for surviving, but the curse killed out 2 of them, and then the Phantoms from that curse killed the 3rd one, so that was certainly good for Snockstar there. Lone Lancer probably going to go heal. Whereas there's 6 Exos here on their way out. I like the bravery of Dopamine here. If I was playing in this position, I'd be thinking that I'm behind and that there's probably an army out on the map that's going to kill my Exos if I go do this. But Dopamine able to... Ooh, we do see that drop that was just on the corner of our vision there. Finds an Exo rallying. And oh no! Huge Nightfall Infestation going there. Catching a couple of those Exos. And they're going down. Ooh, trying to use the Seismic Slam there. Although I don't think it technically was a Seismic Slam, but the Harbinger there to do a little body block on the Exo. Didn't quite get it. Maybe also pop that Effigy too, because that'll block pathing as well. Here's that drop that was on its way out, and it looks like it's... the Exos are like, no, you're not going to get anything. But Snoxtar says, haha, joke's on you. That's what I wanted. I wanted your Exos to chase me over here. One Brute gets sacrificed, while other Brutes showing up on the left-hand side, and there's a drop in the main. We'll keep an eye on that. Actually, the Brutes on the left, they pull out, while the drop goes for a huge Nightfall Infestation. We're going to start seeing some Phantoms show up there, and that's GG out of Dopamine. Welcome back in for the 3rd game between these two. We're not on Isle of Dread anymore. We're on the Broken Crown. My favorite map. And once again, this is going to be Dopamine playing here in the Blue Vanguard. And our buddy Snockstar from Aftermath in the red, playing the Infernal faction. With his double chalk bears. Double chalk bears up there. Just showing that he supported the Children's Hospital. And you can support the Children's Hospital too by buying that pet. This is an effigy being used to provide the shroud here. This is definitely a different build. Second effigy plop to make it permanent. And then a vault going down as well. So this is an interesting build from Snockstar. And Servo's showing up. Dopamine is tired of this business. Doesn't want to wait until the units show up on his door. So he's just going to make a little bunker here. Just a little old bunker. No one minds the little bunker hiding behind their trees. Now was Snoxtar able to hear that? Ooh, he puts down an effigy and sees it. And that sentry post is done. And we're getting our second sentry post up. There are 5 servos here. They build it pretty quick. And we got our first gaunts popped out. The vault still isn't finished, although as soon as it's done here, we're going to see a brute pop as well, I'm sure. There we go. And effigy goes down. And we get 1 lancer inside there. And we have a buzzsaw cannon, but unfortunately it doesn't have range on either of those buildings. I did not think that that was going to be the case. So that means Dopamine has to go for a 3rd here. But the original buzzsaw cannon can help. I see this now that the buzzsaw cannon has turned back into a sentry post. It does have range on the vault. And another one is done. So Dopamine here relying on buildings to get done what he needs to do. And it looks like those gaunts are... Ooh, sorry, those gaunts got cleaned up, or did they run away? No, they came to get some phantoms. I thought so. I didn't think I saw them die. But that's because he wants these free units to help. Ooh, and he gets a lancer for it, although they get cleaned up. And now Servo's joining the battle, getting in on it, saying we can do damage too. Not very much. Not very much. Hellborn pops. This is awesome. Hellborn are going to try here, but it's a repair turret on the buzzsaw cannon. I think the Hellborn here might out DPS it. The Lancers here that almost got the Hellborn get taken out. And now, with a Brute and 2 Gaunts, this is going to get out DPS, I'm sure. But the buzzsaw cannon doing its best to get some damage onto the Brute. Notice how the Brute and the Gaunts are healing up as well on the Shroud there. And finally, we get that bunker go down. And now we've got another one, but the DPS is just too high. This one's going to go down as well. And out pops the Lancer to only to its death. And oh wow, there's a fiend there, popped out of a curse, and now oh no, these poor servos are going to go down, and more phantoms are going to show up. And wow, okay, so Snoxtar was able to hold that bunker rush, and now Dopamine's in a rough position as these Lancers have to come back home and get inside this. Okay, we got a repair turret instead, but Snoxtar deciding not to push in just yet, going for the health camp, and this could be good. He already has 1 health camp, but these units are low, and not only will they get to heal a little bit on the Shroud here plus the health camp, after they capture it, that will double up their healing, and they might get back up to full as a result. Also, the Phantoms that we saw accrue there, they ended up doing the tanking. And bye-bye to this buzzsaw cannon. I think, yes, 1 more volley and it goes down. And I think this is probably going to be it. There's 1 low gaunt there that could be maybe taken out. But, okay, Dopamine doing its best to try and get another sentry post up. But it goes down before it can really get some damage. And this is it. I don't think there's much else you can do here, Dopamine. And sure enough, that is going to be GG.